Hello friends, welcome to VDS Tech Lab. In this video, we will discuss about API, what is an API and how it works. So in the previous sections of API, we have discussed that introduction to HTTP methods, that is get, put, post, delete and patch, and what is HTTP headers. HTTP headers. So these things we have discussed. So these things used in API creation or while we are testing API testing. So we should know what is an API and how it works. So this will become the first video of this playlist. So let's open the PDF file that I have made. See what is an API and how it works. I have depicted here in a very simple words I have written here. So actually API is an interface between two applications that allow to communicate to software. Okay. So API is a collection of functions which can be executed by another software programs. Basically, API is an interface between two applications and allow the two software system to communicate with one another. And how it works? So it's very simple. It takes the request from the source. I mean, from the source means user. It takes the request from the user and that request takes that request to the database, sends that request to the database and fetches the requested data from the database and returns the required response to the source. API takes the request from the user and gives the response without exposing the internal structure or details of of a database. Okay, so in this case, API acts as abstraction. So API take cares all the security precautions. Okay, for example, if you are using any app like Facebook, Google, or you are sending a message to anybody or checking weather the particular day on your phone, so that means you are using an API. Okay, so this is the diagram I have taken from the Google. So see, this is the browser where user sends the request to the database. Okay, and see API in between. So basically, so let me go to the diagram where I can show you. See here. So if I'll see. So this is the user. Okay. So we can say this is presentation layer. Okay, presentation layer, and see this is your business layer. This is your business layer, and this is your database layer. This is your database layer. So when user sends the request to the database, in between, API is take cares all these things what we need to access and what are the things we can access in the database, that take care by API only. So API acts as an intermediary or interface between two communication systems, that is the presentation layer and database layer. So this is the way that API works actually. And then based on the request, it will send the response to the user on in the UI user interface. Okay. So this is the user sends the request and API take care of all these things, what we need to access, what we can access, these things. So API acts as an intermediary or interface. So it plays very important role for the security purpose and what we need to access, what we can access. So this is all about the API. Okay. So see, and what is Web API? Web API is an API as an image, as a name suggests. Okay. It can be accessed over a web using HTTP protocols. Okay. So that's all about the what is an API, how API works, and what is Web API. So in the next video, we will discuss what is web services and what is the difference between web services and API. So that's all about in this video. If you like, then hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Thanks a lot.